come back from the cold.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding.
We were talking to
Wind was brutal, wasn't it, the last couple of days?
It was.
It's kind of nice out there today. Pleasant. Want to talk about the weather?
What's practice been like? What have you been focusing on since you got back?
It's been good. We obviously have a very tough stretch of games ahead of us, starting with this game tomorrow night, 3 consecutive road games, and you have to have a different mentality when you go on the road. When you're at home, especially the crowd that we have, one of the best in the nation, they're able to get you through the tough times. When you go out on the road, we're all we got. Those 16 guys that we have in the locker room and our coaching staff. We have to find a way to go out there and play together, play through the tough times, and do it as a unit. And it's been a big focus. The communication, obviously rebounding, something that we've been focusing on a lot. And it's about going out there and obviously putting a body on players. We're very inconsistent with that right now, and we can't be with our lack of size. And we found a way to win 4 or 5 in I think giving up 25, 15, 15, and 17 offensive rebounds in the last 4. If we don't fix that, it's going to start getting ugly here real quick. So we got to find a way to compete on the glass better, because when we get it off, we're pretty darn effective. I think our pace is 19th in the country right now, and when we can secure the rebound, we're a very effective offensive team. And we don't, and you're taking the ball out of the net and giving teams 2 and 3 opportunities, you're fighting uphill. So rebounding is something that obviously we have to continue to stress, but when we do get the ball off the glass, we're as good as anybody. So, I think we're giving up 37% of opponent shots, missed shots. That's way up. Doesn't take a rocket science to say that's way too many, but we got to fix it. We got to find a way to compete better, especially in that stat.
How much better do you think you can actually get in that, based on how small you are? Like what are things you can work on to improve that, or is it just kind of the hand that you dealt?
It's just live rebounding drills, and believe it or not, we do it. And it's about carrying that over. The corner crash is really hurting us. We every day do corner crash rebounding drills, going and finding, hitting the body. Our bigs, we're undersized. We're asking Kevin Cross. We're asking a lot of him. We've got a 17-year-old in Ivan that's got his hands full down there pretty much every night. Kevin's playing out of position. He's 6'6". And we're asking, especially when you go out there tomorrow against Banks, you're playing against, the #1 shot blocker in the country and a great offensive rebounder. So, Kevin's job is to hopefully, lock him up, and then our guards can come back in and get the rebound over the top. But, it's a concerted effort. You got to do it 40 minutes, not just, when it's convenient and when you feel good and when you're fresh. You got to do it, more importantly when you're tired, because, when you look at the stretch of games we had in the Caymans when we rebounded the ball, we were pretty darn good.
From the 24 hours after the George Mason loss to the win over South Florida,
What did you see from your team, and how big of a growing experience was that?
Well, I thought we really responded well, and I thought for the most part the 40 minutes that we played, we had a little stretch in there we didn't play well, but we stayed together. We found a way, switching defenses, made adjustments. Guys followed the game plan very well, and found a way to win against a very good team to finish off that tournament after a very disappointing second game against George Mason. And that's what it's all about. It's about growing and learning from your tough performances and your disappointing performances. And I give our guys credit for bouncing back. That next morning we didn't talk a lot about South Florida. We talked a lot about ourselves and what we needed to do to go out there and play better and play more consistently and stay together during the tough stretches. And I thought we did a really good job of that, maybe the best we've done all year against South Florida.
And you've talked about just the emotions of the team meeting after the second game, and is that just a product of having a young team and having a bunch of new guys and having
we've talked a lot about, obviously, going into the season about how are we going to respond to adversity. And it's the single most important thing you do as a group is how you're going to find a way to stick together when you're not playing well, when a team goes on a run against you, because when you don't handle it the right way, which we didn't against George Mason, we cut that thing to 5 or 6 3 times, I think, and then we just couldn't get the big stop. And then you expend so much energy trying to climb back into it, and then they go on the big run to finish off the game. So you just, when you have a meeting like we did, when you sit in there and you're able to look at your teammate in the eyes and have an honest conversation and not take it personal, that's when you grow. And I've been in enough teams to where when the players can have those conversations with each other and not take it the wrong way, that's when you get better. And I saw a lot of that going into the South Florida game. Now, we had the most fans down at that tournament. I thought we had a great turnout with Nebraska fans in the gym. Now we're playing true road contests. So, here's the next step. You get to go in a hostile environment and probably face some of the same things, and how are we going to handle that? And hopefully we do it well, because if you don't, when you're on the road, things can go the wrong way in a hurry.
What are some characteristics you like to see out of your team when they're on the road?
Biggest thing is togetherness. I talk to our guys all the time. Boys win at home. It takes a man to win on the road, and you got to go out there and find a way to do it as a team. We've got a couple more opportunities to get together as a group, watch film, understand tendencies, how we want to attack. They play a lot of different defenses. They'll play a kind of a matchup zone. They'll play a 1-3-1, and they played man-to-man the entire second half against Bethune-Cookman the other night. So, just having the attention to detail about how you're going to attack based on what defense they're in, and who you're guarding, who you close out to, shooter versus driver. Those things are all very important, especially when you go on the road and finding a way to do it for 40 minutes and play consistent basketball.
Georgia Tech is slightly below average team pace-wise. What's the challenges you face when you want to play at a high pace and they want to smother the game?
Well, the thing you have to do is try to establish it early, and if you let them come out and dictate the tempo, we've allowed that to happen a few times this year. Most notably probably the first game of the season when Riverside went on a run. We tried to get it all back at once. We gambled on several occasions. You just have to find a way, to stick to your tendencies and stick to your principles. You can't get outside who you are if they do go on a run, and again, try to get it all back at one time. And sorry.
Is that your mixtape?
That is mine. So what was your question? All about tempo. Yeah, and we face teams where I thought we've done a good job of dictating tempo, and one the other night in South Florida. When you make a shot against them, they walk the ball up the floor. But I thought we did a good job. Even when they scored, we got what we call our answer back is getting it in quick, and Hanif did a great job of getting in front and getting some layups even after made baskets. So you just have to try to go out there and be solid, whatever style you're playing against.
You got a guy blocking 5 shots a game. How much do you have to be aware of him when you guys are going to the rim?
Well, we've talked about driving into the paint to make a play. I told him I'd rather throw it into the 10th row than to allow him to block our shot, because now at least you can get your defense set. We talked to our guys. If you drive in there and try to shoot over it, it's a turnover, and it's going to lead to a fast break opportunity for them. He does a great job of keeping the ball in play when he blocks shots, but you're not getting it over him. You're not getting it over top. Offensive rebound, you got to be ready if you don't have a quick angle to score it, to kick it out and try to get an open three out of it. That's one thing I've been really pleased with. We're shooting, I think, almost 45% from the three-point line the last 4 games, and a lot of it is making the extra pass and guys stepping up with confidence. So we'll go in there, we just can't challenge him at the rim. He's too good at doing that. He's number 1 in the nation in blocking shots, so we have to be selective when we take it into the rim.
You guys' free throw shooting is trending up these last 2 games.
A little better.
Is that just a mental block that you guys need to get over?
That's a big part of it. Free throw shooting, all shooting is mental, and I'm glad to see us get our 3-point numbers up a little bit, and hopefully the free throw shooting follows now. It's great to see Hanif, who's historically a very good free throw shooter, who had really been struggling to make 9 of 11 in the last game. One of those he missed when he lost his contact, but especially to hit those 2 at the end and make it a 3-possession game. I'm confident our guys will continue to see those numbers go in the right direction. And, it is, but it's mental. And if you miss the first one, it gets contagious. And then guys start thinking about it a lot. You just have to trust your stroke.
With a guy like Cam in particular, how do you balance playing with swagger while also being smart?
Yeah, you see it so much now, and you see it at the highest level. You see guys going out there, and I do like our guys playing with a swagger and playing with confidence, but you have to channel it, and you have to go out there and do it the right way. It can't cost you a transition basket. You can't let an individual battle, based on smack talk and going on, which I don't think we've done any of that, but I do want our guys going out there and playing. I think we're a better team when we're out there having fun and playing with swagger, but you got to channel it and do it the right way.
Did you have an expectation of where you guys would be at as a team,
like through this portion of the season. Where are you at compared to that? Is it too early?
I didn't really have an expectation. The biggest thing I wanted to see was growth, and I think we have seen that. I think we have gotten better as a team, and I think we've gotten more consistent. Is there still room for improvement? Absolutely, but I do think we're a better team now than we were on opening night. And if we keep taking steps in the right direction, then hopefully we'll continue to become a better team. But again, this will be our first true road test, and not only this one, but then at Creighton and at Indiana, and then a short prep coming back home for Purdue. So we got a heck of a schedule coming up. So we're going to have to get better, and we're going to have to continue to improve. But that's my biggest expectation for this team, is to continue to take the positive steps and continue to get better every night. Thanks, guys.